What's the backstory with Carlos Hardy? Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the backstory with Carlos Hardy. That will be me. Today it's going to be a little bit different. I want to show you guys something today that's going to be great, amazing. I'm going to show you the evolution of one of my books. Okay, I have a few books online on Amazon and Apple and things like that. So it's really good to show you the beginning, middle, and end of that process for me. Okay, I just want to make sure that you understand that you too can pull that book out of you, pull that story out of you that you've had about your grandparents, your old life, your abuse that you may have conquered, your triumphs in life, your schooling, whatever it is. I'm here to help you get there. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about my book. Okay, now I wrote this book last year sometime. It took me about maybe 60 days, maybe a little over 60 days to write this book. And the book is called The Bee Gene, as you can see there. See that? The Bee Gene. And I'll tell you about the title in a bit. But it took me 60 days to write this book, and I really put all my heart and soul into this story, into this book. I'm from Flint, Michigan, and growing up, there was not a lot of writers or a lot of storytelling that I could identify with or that I could somehow connect with. Everything was told by other people that didn't look like me. And I get it because, you know, that's what it was at that time. But now there are so many storytellers, so many diverse storytellers out there of old, young, black, white, green, or there's just so many storytellers. And that's the whole point of why I wanted to write The Bee Gene. In my city, it wasn't a really, I grew up with 8 brothers and sisters, and we always would imagine things, especially me. Like, I was the main one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was the main one that would create things, imagine things, and try to execute them. I would play game shows, talk shows. I would create these things. I would create the Double Dare. I would create a TV show. I mean, whatever you can think of. My mind was just creating it as a kid. So I knew one day I will be writing. So when I got to college, years later, I went to Ferris State University. It's in Big Rapids, Michigan, and I went there and studied communications and television production and screenwriting. And that was just, that opened the floodgate for me. And it was just an awesome thing. So I know a lot of you who have these stories, have had these stories for a long time, and you're now finally hoping to bring those stories to fruition. But I know you can do it. You just have to stick with the story. Beat it out of you, okay? You're pregnant and you're trying to birth this thing, so you gotta get it out of you, okay? So this book, The Bee Gene, let's talk about The Bee Gene. It's called The Bee Gene, and there's a title here, The Bee Gene, and then a subtitle here. It says, if you have it, they will find you. If you have it, they will find you. I love horror, but this isn't really horror. It's more sci-fi, reality based, but it's a sci-fi thing. So there are not too many African Americans that write sci-fi. There's a couple that I know of that are really great, but I love anything dealing with sci-fi that's taking me out of my reality. Because remember, I'm from Flint, Michigan, the murder capital of the world at the time, when growing up in the 90s. And so I wanted to take my mind off of that, so I would write. That's all I would do, strictly write, create in my own mind. And this story was one of the stories I had a long time ago, and I decided to push it forward, okay? This story was one of the stories I had a long time ago, and I wanted to write this story because of a lot of the things that was happening in the African American community. So The Bee Gene is, without telling you what it's all about, because I want you to read the book and get into it. Trust me, get into it. The book is about a young man. His name is Caleb Prescott, and he is from a city outside of Baltimore. And you know, I create all kinds of cities, but a city outside of Baltimore. And in that city, he goes to an HBCU, historic black college, university. He goes there with his two friends, Jalen and Bree, okay? And they're all, African American. And something starts to happen at their school, at all HBCUs, all of them, all across the country. And Caleb is he had his choice of going to a Ivy League school, but he decided to choose an HBCU. So he's a very smart guy. He's a very smart kid. He's about, I think he's 17 in the book that I wrote him, but he's a young kid. But he also is a kid that is very inquisitive, and he wants to figure out what's happening. So what's happening in the story is at all these HBCUs, there are these storms, okay? And these storms are taking out all the HBCUs, and they're trying to figure out what it's really about, okay? And they go on. The three friends go down to this rabbit hole to try to figure out what's really happening. And as they begin to figure out what's happening at all of these HBCUs, they discover something that they didn't necessarily think of, but they knew all along what was happening. And I know most of you guys are gonna go one way, and you're thinking, as I told you, that you're gonna go, oh, it's probably this, but it's probably not gonna be that. The whole point is to think deeper, to write deeper, to try to create a story where people can't figure it out. And I hope I did this with this book, and I hope you can take a look at it and read it and enjoy it, read it, give me your feedback, let me know what you think about it. But I really think you're going to appreciate what I have written there, because your imagination can just soar. It can just go anywhere. It don't even matter. It can just go anywhere. You can write different cities, different characters, different environments, different planets. You can write all types of things. So please don't limit yourself when you're doing your writing, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. Now remember, on your nonfiction, this book is fiction. It's not nonfiction. It's fiction. This book is fiction. If you're writing nonfiction, you want to do the same kind of thing, be able to create these colorful characters out of your mind. And remember, as you watch the videos on my channel, I'm going to teach you how to create these colorful characters that are memorable, that people will come back time and time again and have fun with these characters. That's what you want. You want people to lock horns with these characters and be able to appreciate them. So another thing I decided to do with this book, I thought this story was really, really good, and it needed to be told. Because sometimes as African Americans, the media shows us things that are reality based a lot, and we see things that are reality based a lot, and we never have the opportunity to go outside ourselves, outside those four walls of our blackness. So it's great to be able to read something or view something that takes you outside of that. And that's what I try to do with all of my books. Write them from a perspective where it has nothing to do with the exterior. It's really interior. It's just that me as an African American man, I'm writing them, but you will be able to get something from them. Lastly, one thing I decided to do, and I thought was really, really a good thing for me. Like you can choose to do it, or you don't have to do it. I ended up, after I originally wrote the book, I ended up writing a short film. The film was about 8 to 10 minutes long, and I ended up, I went to school for directing as well. So I directed this film. I wrote this film, I directed this film, I casted this film, and it turned out really, really well. So it gives you this small bit of information as you watch the film. I'm going to show you the film. As you watch the film, I'm hoping that you're intrigued enough to read the book. That's my whole point of doing films, or doing any kind of what we call a reel or a short film or a teaser for the actual book. I love little short films like that. I've directed a couple of them over the years that I'll probably share with you later. But we need to get our book written. That's what I want for you. But the film, I casted the actors, and I casted these brilliant, brilliant young men. And when you watch the film, there's only 3 characters, and 2 of those characters appear in the film. No, actually, all 3 of those characters appear and all 3 of the characters appear in the book. I definitely want you to just take a look at the acting, take a look at the setting, take a look at, feel out the music. It's like it should be able to carry you into wanting to read the book. That's the whole point of my short film. And I hope you're able to look at it and be able to pull something from it and be intrigued by the story of the bee gene. The bee gene. Now, what is the bee gene? You gotta figure that out. I'm not gonna tell you. You gotta read all about it. But before you read all about it, I'm gonna show you the short film that created the bee gene. So let's take a look at it right now. I'll catch you on the other side.
Caleb, wake up. You good? Caleb, wake up.
Where are we?
I have no idea. They're gone.
What?
Every black historic university is gone. This shit is unreal, man. Morehouse, Spelman, Jackson, gone.
I must have knocked out. How long was I out?
This shit has conspiracy written all over it. Fuck!
It's happening. They finally caught up.
Hell yeah, it's happening. The government is in on this.
Stay calm.
I'm a realist and this shit has oppression written all over it. Harvard hasn't been touched and neither has Yale.
How did we get here?
You really don't remember?
No.
The military tankers ransacked us, man. And some of the other students from the university got away.
The president?
This punk ass is hiding out in the mountains, man. Something does not feel right about this.
I know what they're after.
Cal, miss me with that.
You don't understand. It's a distraction.
Bro, you're bugging the fuck out.
They'll eventually come for it.
It?
Yes. The bee gene.
The bee gene.
Yes. It's the gene that controls the future and diminishes the past.
Bro, what the hell are you talking about? There's 20 white agents out there. Newsflash, we're black, and there's no cameras up in here to prove that we up in this bitch.
They're going to come for us. They will sacrifice everything to ensure that they get the bee gene.
Okay, so when those 20 agents come rolling up in here, I'm gonna remember that. Shut up.
Mr. Prescott.
Advisor Doley.
It's finally a pleasure to meet you.
I wish I can say the same about you.
There have been rumblings across town that you know of the Melanin Experiment.
The Melanin Experiment?
It's the bill Congress is proposing to seize 1 million African Americans for government research.
You're a pretty smart guy, Caleb. 1,600 on your SATs. Head of your student government. But the company you keep is quite bland, to say the least.
Go screw yourself.
That about proves that point. But let's not grandstand here. They will live because of you, or they will die because of you.
We all have distinct choices to make.
Yes, but it's the reasoning beyond the choice that ultimately gives us our pleasure.
My people have suffered long enough. Let them go.
Let them go? I think you are about 400 years too late, Mr. Prescott. You see, your people are drones. They do what I tell them to do. It's the fabric of our democracy.
We had no choice to freedom, and you know it.
There goes that word again. Choice.
Am I missing something here?
Clearly. But let's cut the pleasantries. Tell me about the B gene.
I know as much as you do.
Then you do not know very much.
Then I guess we are at a standstill.
You know, I have the authority to rid the world of others like you.
But you won't. They won't let you.
They?
Tell me about them.
I know as much as you do.
You are playing with fire, Mr. Prescott. It would be a shame if your loved ones got burned.
Your idle threats are senseless.
When will you people learn? The universities are just the beginning. I know you think this gene is the answer to all your problems.
What could we possibly have that you want? Why are you mad, bro?
That's what he wants. That part of you that surpasses every ounce of fear. It's intoxicating, isn't it?
I came here to offer a complimentary truce. But that's off the table. You've left me no choice. Give me the B gene! This is just the beginning.
Cal, who was that guy?
Homeland Security asshole.
You still haven't explained what it is.
Bolivian. That's what the B stands for.
Bolivian? Who carries the gene?
People that look like you and me.
Is it deadly? Can it help us out?
Well, when the time comes, you won't need the help.
So, what do we do now?
We'll do what we've always done.
Oh my god, that's not an answer, man.
a bit intriguing. Like I said, I love telling stories. I love creating stories that you at home can watch, read, and be able to follow in a way that may be unorthodox, if that makes sense to you. This short film was an incredible experience to work with the actors on this short film because they hadn't read the book and they didn't know. So the actors ended up reading the book after the fact, after they shot the film, which is great. It lets me know that they wanted to know more. They wanted to know what was inside the book and what it meant. I really appreciate you so much. There's always a backstory. There's always a backstory to everything, okay? And I really want you to write your book, and I'm a pivot to that every time because I know you have a story in you that you want to tell. And as you continue to watch more and more videos, I'm hoping you gather all the information and be able to put it on paper and be able to execute. That's the whole point. That's the only way the only how your story is going to get out is if you decide to execute that story. Because you're here for a reason. You know, all the other stuff is fun, but I know you have a story and I want to help you to bring that story out. Okay? Thank you so much for coming to What's the Backstory with Carlos Hardy. I appreciate it. Subscribe, share if you want. Read the book. Okay, read the book, and then once you read the book, send me some questions. I would love to get your take on each character. You know, Bree, Jalen, and Caleb, who's the main character. I would love to get your take on that and see what you thought it was going to be, and see what you thought it was going to go. But thank you so much. I'll catch you on the next one. Remember, another video will be coming soon. So we'll continue teaching you how to get inside that backstory because we all have one. Okay, until next time, I'm Carlos Hardy, the BG.
What's the backstory with Carlos Hardy? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't forget to subscribe.